1954, the Heritage Station, WTMP, Egypt Lake, Tampa, St. Pete, 97.5 in Pinellas.
Okay, all righty, it's that time again. All the elephants are in the room. We're gonna do this thing called Porch Talk Radio. I'm your host, Eddie Adams Jr. You know, we got a couple of more trunks in the room. We got Gabriel, we got Willie, and Tim is doing the video.
He's doing the wide shot on us. Must be all the muscles.
Yeah, doing it, doing it so you can see it later on Facebook, and if you go to Porch Talk on Facebook, we got a page there too. So, you know, something came up, and I just wanted to make sure folks was aware of it, and don't want to forget it. So I'm gonna go ahead and do it first. In 2020, Super Bowl gonna be in Miami, Florida.
At the Hard Rock?
Yeah.
Where the Dolphins play.
Right. In 2021, Raymond, well, I guess, did they still call it Raymond James?
Raymond James
Stadium. Raymond James
RJ.
Stadium here in Tampa, Florida. So 2 years in a row, and I'm thinking, looking at history going back, yeah, I don't think the Super Bowl has been in the same state. Matter of fact, they used to change the region of the country every year the Super Bowl happens. So the fact that the state of Florida 2 years in a row get the benefit from having a Super Bowl in the state. And again, I wanted to bring that up now.
And neither stadium is a new stadium.
Right.
Which is odd, because they've been awarding Super Bowls to people who have held up their city by gunpoint and extorting their cities to build new stadiums.
Because I think the next year after us, it goes to Los Angeles or somewhere, and they got a new stadium. So that's how they get rewarded for having a new stadium. So anyway, this is Porch Talk Radio, and you know, this is the political show run by the Republicans. You know, so I just want to go ahead and throw that out there for folks who may end up here by mistake.
What the hell is this?
Make sure you understand what you got yourself into. And it's really all about information. And the topics that we talk about primarily is to inform you so that you get the other side. I remember we used to do all the shows. I start off by telling people, you know, we are the ones that's interpreting what's been interpreted for you. You know, because they always say this is what the Republicans meant. Well, we're here to actually tell you what the Republicans meant, you know, not have the Democrats tell you what the Republicans meant, because somehow it always sounds a hell of a lot different when Democrats are trying to tell you what Republicans meant. So, anyway, we're here. The call-in number, for those who would like to call in during the show, participate in the show, the call-in number is 813-251-9867. 813-251-9867. For those who like to call and talk about anything under the sun, including politics and religion and all that kind of stuff, my cell phone number, Eddie Adams Jr.'s cell phone number is 813-230-3312. 813-230-3312. My email address, if you want to email me, is Eddie, E-D-D-I-E, at porchtalkradio.com. And of course, the website is porchtalkradio.com. Sponsors. We got some of the best sponsors in the world. And again, that's the only reason that we could be here. We're capitalists. You know, they may give the Democrats a show. They definitely don't give the Republicans a show.
No.
So again, at the end of the day, the only reason we can do this every week, week in, week out. I've been doing it for 124 weeks.
Total about 8-9 years now.
No, they don't make it that long. We've been doing it all together for about 9 years, but that's between WGUL and TBCN.
But 124 weeks here on WTMP.
Here on WTMP, 124 weeks. So.
Near broadcasting.
So that makes us probably the longest lasting live regular show that they've had.
Because we don't know when to quit.
Yeah.
Because we don't have this stuff to quit.
Well, yeah, that mean they tried to kick us off a couple of times, you know. And the Democrats went away as soon as the election was over with, you know, because they used to come on after us or before us or something. They wanted to have a radio show, but until they figured out that it wasn't free, they kind of, you know, somebody had to pay for it the entire time. They kind of went away.
Well, if the Democrats get in power again, it just might be free.
Well, yeah, it could be. I mean, you know, but the Hillsborough County Republican Executive Committee has been our sponsor since day one.
Thank you, Jim.
Have taken part in helping us do this thing, communicate with you in your living room or in your car or wherever you listen to us have this conversation. The Hillsborough County Republican Executive Committee has been there with us and with you, and actually participated in the Tampa mayoral election process this year too. So first time in a long time, you know, I went to their web page and saw information and candidates and, you know, all kind of stuff like that up. And I mean, because in the past, you know, they primarily just let the city of Tampa go to the Democrats, and I had several conversations with some important people involved, and we couldn't do that. So we actually got, you know, a candidate that's a Republican that made it to the runoff. So that's important too, and that's one of the things we're going to talk about today. And Todd Jones, property appraiser, one of our supporters from the very beginning, and way back when he was running for property appraiser.
Great guy. Hopefully he'll run again.
Good guy, and we need more people like that. Print fast. John Desprow. All your printing needs. If you got a car lot, a couple hundred cars over there, if you need a car, you know, go see John. John is a really good. John has been with us probably almost from the beginning too. You know, and John is a really good guy.
Bring him on board one day.
John is a good friend. We need to bring him on
Tim,
the show.
Handle that.
On the show, and get John here and talk about some of the stuff he's doing. And John got
he's involved in the community, right?
He got a lot of stuff going on. Him and his wife. So, and they just had an anniversary or something. So happy anniversary! I think he said 25 years.
Congratulations
on the post that I saw. So
25
years. Yeah.
I know from experience, it ain't for wimps.
It ain't.
It ain't for wimps.
Marriage is a job. Let me tell you. You know. For both parties. I mean, you got one side working their ass off, and at the end of the day, you still end up divorced. So
I think I hit 25. If I combine my exes.
Okay, no, it doesn't count.
Details. It's always the details. Good grief.
Yeah,
we count.
Moving along.
Yeah, me and my wife got an anniversary coming up here, the 21st of March.
Awesome.
And there was a reason we got married on the first day of spring, because that make it easy to remember. you know what I'm saying? Because I knew I was going to get old. I knew it, and I didn't want to be trying to figure out what's the wedding day and the anniversary and all that kind of stuff. So I made it on one of those days that we could easily both remember. You know, we may get the number wrong, but we'll get the day right. So
you mentioned there's a friend of mine who got married on July 4th. Not only because it was July 4th, it was his birthday too.
Oh my goodness.
Okay, so he get all his trees on one day, and it ain't Christmas. And it ain't Christmas.
No.
So you know what?
Yes.
I'm only laughing at you a little bit because I know somebody else who did exactly the same thing.
And see, I give smart people credit. You know, when credit is due. I knew who I was, and I told my wife, you know, let's get married, and it happened to be a Saturday. And it was great, and you know, and what we didn't think about then is everybody on the planet is on spring break on the 21st of March every year. So no matter where you go on planet Earth, somebody's on spring break. So we learned to live with it.
You can't go to that quiet little.
There are no quiet places. Period. You got college kids, no matter where you go.
That's true.
On the 21st of March. Well, let me say it like this. If you go to Alaska or somewhere, you good. You anywhere up north. But anywhere where we like to go, where you're going to have fun, and the weather's going to be involved, there's no places without people celebrating their ability to.
Some pasty white kid from Wisconsin
Yes.
is going to be there.
Who just lost all their morality, morals, anything that they had in Wisconsin, come down here to do it on the balcony of every hotel in the state of Florida. That's possible, So there's gonna be a lot of new videos out within the next month or so. So just look for it.
Get on YouTube. It's gonna be great fun.
Yeah, it is if you like that kind of stuff.
Uh-huh.
Okay, what we're gonna talk about today? We're gonna talk about the same thing everybody else has been talking about all week. Okay, that was the election, and somebody made it through round one. They made it to the runoff.
Ding, ding, ding. Round two.
So April 23rd, we would do all this again.
Yay.
And there are some things because and let's talk about the mayor first, the mayoral race. Let's talk about that first because there are some interesting things that happened. We all know that everybody had their own Negroes. Everybody had their own black folks, And it's interesting because people who traditionally would not went out and got them some black folks.
You mean the African American
some black folks.
Had black folks. Because for some reason or other, whenever they showed up in the hood for events and meetings, they always...
He's working this hard today.
They
got the engineer out of the booth.
They come laugh, But I'm telling the truth. Sometimes the truth is like that, and they didn't only just get them some black folk. Everybody had a
Well, they had their Hispanics too.
They had a black campaign because I'm sitting there at the open cafe, and we got an organization that brought every mayoral candidate in to talk. Most of them came with black folks. Some had one or two. Some had a flock.
And a black entourage.
A flock.
Yeah, had a flock.
There you go.
And again, and these are folks who traditionally would not have came to the open cafe for anything. But this cycle,
their car broke down out front.
Right? Yeah, broke down outside.
That's right. Lincoln breakdown.
They had the bodyguard go inside and ask, for.
May I use your phone?
Yeah, something, But this was an election that woke up a lot of folks in Tampa. Still had a poor turnout.
20%. That's what it turned out, I heard.
Actually, I got the numbers right here in front of me.
Hit it.
Okay, the city of Tampa had 237,752 registered voters. The ones that cast ballots, 48,863, which gives you a voter turnout of 20.55%. Now that's everybody. For the amount of time, energy, and interest paid in the black community, the black voter turnout was low. And I've heard different numbers, and I couldn't find officially anywhere, so I won't shout it out. But someone told me it was 6%, 5%. So
could have been better than Hispanic.
That seems right.
Yeah.
Hispanic could have been even better.
So I'm looking at that number, saying that with all the attention paid, I'm talking about everybody having a black agenda and having black, black spokespersons, and stuff. Tampa, I'm upset because I'm thinking if you needed a reason to go vote, the simple thing that everybody always talking about, that's where the power at, That's how you get the power that South Tampa got. You know, and South Tampa didn't show up this time because they couldn't unite and decide who they wanted either. So that's how we ended up with both Jane Castor and, you know, David Strass. Now I'm going to tell you, I said this weeks ago, I'm not anything special. I'm just telling you, you know,
I think you're special.
I have a feeling about politics. And sometimes politics is an animal that you got to understand.
Mm-hmm.
David Strass, Jane Castor. People vote for people they think they know or people they know. That's why Jane Castor kicked everybody's butt. She's been chief of police for Tampa for a long time. She's the name that everybody know.
Basically.
You know, and within the black community, they actually had a campaign. There is a negative opposition campaign actually going on where I've heard Sly saying, don't vote for Jane Castor. Nobody else in the whole process had negative opposition, someone actually campaigning, spending money, trying for them to not get elected. But I don't know why, I don't know who. But there are some powerful people in round two.
Mm-hmm.
So that, and I'm going to throw this out there too, because it's worth talking about. Okay, Jane Castor had $500,000 plus. She spent $390. No, this is according to. I got to throw this out there, you know,
qualified
on people. You know, this came off the Supervisor of Election website. So, she spent $390,000, almost $400,000. David Strass had $2,956,963.18.
So if we divide his percentage into those,
yeah, that's $3 million. That's $3 million, you know, and he spent it all except for $200,000. So, but I'm gonna tell you something I told somebody this morning about having money.
mm-hmm. Mr. Patel learned this one.
If you don't, if it's something you want, and you got lots of money, don't let it pass you by because you didn't spend enough money on it. I'm just saying that, you know, because poor folks don't think like that.
Mm-hmm.
I'm just telling you.
No, you're right.
I'm just telling you. They go out and buy them damn Jordans, you know, for $400 damn. They can't afford them. They spend as much on tennis shoes that
they borrow money to pay their cell phone.
Pay for a car. So,
yeah.
So I'm just saying, rich people don't have them problems. And I'm saying, just because he's rich is not a reason for David Strass to win. But phase 2, runoff 2, everybody get to vote for one or two people. So, in the black community, your vote would have been really, really, really important round 1. Because it is all broken up.
Mm-hmm.
South Tampa going to get their act together, phase 2. Only problem is, both of these guys, well, both the guy and the girl that's left, are both from South Tampa.
Sorry.
They're both from South Tampa. So they don't get to pick unless they organize and then pick and then go vote. Now, if you want to do something funny, low voter turnout in the general election. Now, I'm gonna tell you something. Y'all show up for the runoff. Y'all wanna make some people mad, upset some people. You wanna upset some people in South Tampa? Let the black vote turn out and elect David Strass. I'm just saying, because there is an organized campaign against Jane Castor, and a lot of folks know why. The popo is still the popo. I got some good folks who traditionally have a hard time trusting, and that I'm just saying some things now, you know. I have nothing against Jane Castor. Jane Castor is a nice lady. I actually have a cell phone. number in my phone because she was chief of police, and I had a lot of stuff that I had to deal with through Jane, and she was always a community worker, you know. So I'm not gonna sit there and say anything bad about her. Ain't my slot. Ain't nobody paying me to say anything bad. Now somebody pay me, you know, and give me some good information. That's a whole nother animal, you know. But which of these two is gonna be best for the black community? And I'm gonna shut up right now, and I will take call-ins from you guys, and I let Willie and Gabriel have at it here for a little while, you know, because I have my own opinion. But both of these people are not equally gonna be good for the black community.
Well, that's obvious. I think that we have to start thinking, and we talk about this all the time. We have to start thinking differently. We have to start looking at economics as the engine by which your community is going to improve. And I think that we have to start looking at people who understand that. I know that you've endorsed one of these people. I haven't personally endorsed either of them. I called all, you guys know that I called all the candidates jelly beans for the most part, because they might look different on the outside, but when you cut them all open, they all pretty much have similar agendas. And I think that had a lot to do with the turnout.
Same squish inside.
Well, yeah. It's like I saw how jelly beans are made on the Science Channel, and this is kind of how all these folks are, to me anyway. Now, for some of y'all who are out there, you may think these people are as different as night and day. I don't personally think that, and I think the turnout of 20% shows that there wasn't anybody who stood out as somebody they wanted to get behind, and I think that hate for Jane that was, right. You know, in East Tampa and the black community wrapped around the whole bicycle thing. I think for a while, like a lot of things, that sort of faded, which is why, and again, I think East Tampa and the black community, West Tampa, they didn't think they had anybody to vote for.
Right. Yeah. Oh, yeah.
So they weren't motivated. They weren't. I mean, they didn't get excited. I got a text from somebody that we all know who was kind of surprised that black people didn't come out for Straz, especially after the comment about no racial profiling.